Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Ryan's Reviews, 100 films in 100 days, or how it's looking right now, 100 films in 100 weeks. Sorry I haven't been able to release as many episodes as I'd like to. I've just got a lot of stuff going on, finals are coming up, so I'm just getting stuff ready. I've got a lot of projects to do and all that for school. So, once it gets to the summertime, I'll be back to doing an episode a day, or maybe even an episode every other day, who knows, we'll see. But I'm here with a new episode. Today I watched Bloodsport, also known as the single most homoerotic film of all time. This film was released in 1988 and stars the man, the myth, the legend, Jean-Claude Van Damme, the muscles from Brussels, the weirdest, most fascinating action star of the 80s and 90s. It has every single thing you could possibly want from a film. It has oiled up men wrestling each other and fighting each other, weird porno music, Jean-Claude Van Damme doing the splits, obligatory love interest who has zero purpose in the film, and a redneck. So I know that every single YouTuber and every single film YouTuber has to have their one episode where they're like, oh, I'm feeling sick, but I'm still going to make an episode, so ignore my voice. That's me today. I don't feel 100%. I do have a rugby match tomorrow, but yeah, I don't feel 110% right now, so I'm sorry for that, but let's see if we can get this done, So this film centers around Mr. Frank Dukes, who is I think he's like Captain America, because he works for the US government, and the US government, the FBI are trying to go get him back the entire film, but he doesn't want that, and he is fighting in the Kumite, which is some sort of fighting tournament in Hong Kong, where all the best fighters in the world go to fight. This film is completely off the wall. I have not seen anything like it, where it is so insane and it is so unapologetic about what it is. It is a feast for the eyes. It is an action extravaganza. Here's the thing, guys. This film is insane. It's absolutely insane. I knew that this was going to be a short review, and I just can't put into words this film. I knew it was going to be a short review when I saw the opening scene. There was literally, the African fighter. Of course, he had to be climbing trees and breaking coconuts, and I was just like, of course you have to have the little racist stereotype right there. There was stereotypes throughout the whole thing, but none of them were as bad as that guy. Oh, he ran around on all fours. He couldn't walk on two legs, which I didn't understand, but whatever. That was pretty stupid. And then there was the Brazilian fighter. There was 50 different Asian fighters, Chinese and Japanese mostly. And then there was Chong Lei, who was the defending champion, who had won it all last year, and now he's here back. And of course, Frank Dukes is going to fight him in the end, but shh, spoilers. As I was saying, this is the gayest film of all time. The film has so many oiled up men with their shirts off in weird poses, making a lot of grunting sounds, and I can't even explain it. It's just insane. It's just completely off the wall. The craziest scene in this film is when Frank Dukes is fighting this giant sumo wrestler guy, and the sumo wrestler is about to hit him, and then he avoids it is he does the splits. He gets down on the ground, does the splits, and then it hits him in the testicles. What? You may ask yourself right now. What did I just hear? Yes, my good sir, you are correct. This is insanity. Pure insanity, I tell you. And then, in the end scene, when he's fighting Chong Lei, he's fighting him and he's super pumped up because he had this other American friend who was secretly his gay lover, is my theory. But because the love interest, he's not actually fucking the love interest. Him and that guy he plays video games with are way too close with one another. They share some special moments together. So he's going to avenge. He didn't die, but he got beat up by Chong Lei. So when he fights Chong Lei, he is really amped up for this fight, man. And then during the fight, Chong Lei loves to cheat. He took this little, he had this pill thing, I guess you smash it, but you crush it and then you throw the dust into the person's face and it blinds them. Oh, also the whole reason Frank Dukes is there is because he wanted to avenge his longtime friend, whose father helped train him via, I'll explain in a second, but when he puts the thing in his eyes, so he's blinded, but in the opening scenes, Frank Dukes is being trained, and they use this, I guess he wants him to like sense where people are, so there's a blindfold on him, and then he can eventually stop the blows. So basically, Frank Dukes just looks back to his old training and is like, okay, I'm going to be one with this, so I'm going to be able to do it. I'll be able to fight. So yeah, that's the film. I give it a 3 out of 5. It is complete insanity. It is undescribable. This is not the end of the review, just so you know. It is definitely one of the weirdest action films I've ever seen, and it's just crazy, man. Now, it's an awful film. It's a terrible film, but it is a so bad it's good film, because action films can get away with being so bad it's good a bit more. Dramas is a bit harder. Comedies, there's almost no so bad it's good comedies. Almost none. Dramas, it's a bit harder, but with action films, like, it's a lot easier to be like so bad it's good. Now, around this time, I'm going to talk a little bit about, he is one of, Jean-Claude Van Damme is like your lesser action hero guy. So let's say if you had your tier list, you'd have at the top, you're an Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone at the top there. Then you'd have your middle tier. You'd have and this is of the 80s and 90s. So you'd have, let me think, I guess, your Bruce Willis from Die Hard. He was awesome, but he's not like an action hero. He's just a guy who happened to be in a really good action film. And then you have that third tier would be like your Jean-Claude Van Damme. There's others, can't think of them right now, honestly. Like, it all slipped my head. Oh, well, yeah, so middle tier, you'd have like your Patrick Swayze, from Roadhouse, or even Harrison Ford. I guess Harrison Ford would be like that middle of the top tier, with Indiana Jones and all that. And then, of course, in Star Wars, but that's like a fantasy. It's not as much of an action film. And Indiana Jones is like an adventure film, but, Patrick Swayze, Kurt Russell, I'd put him in that middle or top tier. Bruce Campbell, well, I guess he's more like a horror action guy, but yeah. And then third tier would be like your Jean-Claude Van Damme's. And then fourth tier is my boy, Steven Seagal. I hate Steven Seagal, as I've already stated to y'all, but Jean-Claude Van Damme, interesting fact about Jean-Claude Van Damme, if you know about Predator, which is another one of my top movies I love. I was going to say favorite, but it's not in my top 10, so. But another one of my favorite films is Predator, and he was originally going to be in the Predator suit when they had their original Predator suit. It's kind of infamous now, but yeah, he was supposed to be in Predator, and then they changed it and got a different guy. So yeah, that was Bloodsport. That was my thoughts on action films in the 80s and 90s. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Make sure to check down in my description. I've got all sorts of cool people down there, like my friend John from the Netherlands, my friend Avant-Garde Criminal, who's a cool artist. He does all my thumbnails. Make sure to check out my Letterboxd. Make sure to check out Isaac Taylor's Letterboxd and his YouTube. He makes some great content. I've decided to change it up now. I'm no longer going to tell you guys what I'm going to watch the episode beforehand, because I always change it. I always lie and say I'm going to watch something, and I never end up actually watching it. So I'm just going to leave it up to me, and it's going to be a big old surprise. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.